area. Final Fantasy 16, the movie. I mean, I saw people saying stuff about the cutscenes and having a lot, and I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, there was gameplay. Like, I've played RPGs that I played as much as I did last night and didn't get to the gameplay, so to me, I'm like, alright, that's probably par for the course, or maybe even a little bit better. Let me see if, see, I don't see YouTube side chat or anything pop up. Are you on Twitch or YouTube? Because it's telling me, it looks like it's saying YouTube, but because I was noticing that cutscenes are quick time events with some of the there was a couple of bigger fights last night. We played about 244 was my stream length. Some of that setup, some of that was talking menu. So Twitch hates your phone, so YouTube. Yeah, for some reason it doesn't. I can see on my Twitch feedback stream manager the restream bot for YouTube popping up, but on the YouTube, let me try refreshing the. It's not showing me my damn chat because Doc was having problems last night, and Nicolo fortunately came in and had mod status and apparently was able to approve his messages to come through. So I modded Doc just to avoid the problem for the meantime. You know, just I was like, oh, I don't have you modded? Okay. So, but I have no idea why I can't seem to manage my stream chat on the YouTube side. Yeah, see, you just said something else there, and it's not popping up in YouTube. I'm gonna have to figure that out, I guess, so I can manage that as needed when there are problems. Let me say, pop out chat, does it work better? Yeah, that's bleh. And then I was looking back through the video just a little bit, kind of getting some sound check there. It seems like it's looking pretty good, but if you need it turned up a little bit to hear music, or something a little bit better, let me know. And because the music, they are really calling back to the prelude on a lot of the stuff. Some of it has some vibes of some of the other Final Fantasies to me as well, but maybe it's just my nostalgia boner kicking in or something like that for this stuff. I don't know what the YouTube side is doing to me. Fortunately, shouldn't be a lot of moderation required. Small streamer benefits. So I'll just have to. But like I said, if Doc makes it in, shouldn't be an issue. Got Doc added to the mod list. So okay, how did I get stuck? Thank you. My computer's trying to eat my cable. But outside of that, let me put everything back in front that belongs in front. All right. Okay, and I messed with the camera a little bit, so I noticed Ifrit and Phoenix weren't in the shot as well anymore, so I kind of moved some shit around back there. I'm loving it so far. I mean, I'm just digging being back into video games too, though. Holy shit, we load right up. I didn't know that was going to happen. All right. Well, who knew? See, I don't have enough time in 14 since I don't have anybody to play with. It's really hard on me to kind of... And then I didn't also want to get a group of people together to play with because I couldn't commit to that level of dedication for an MMO. Not at least right at the moment. So I was like, maybe I'll just go read the story at some point. Because I hear the story is dope. I am. So far, it's been fun. It's been fucking brutal. I'm enjoying the idea of the combat system here. And like I said, I'm loving the music. We did stop right as I got everything sort of unlocked to be able to do a little bit more last night. Because I was like, I've got to be up for work. And then I still I took a half a day. And it wasn't even because I went to bed late. I got off at a pretty reasonable hour. I did the adult thing, but then I still couldn't sleep. So I was tossing and turning all night. I felt like crap. I got up this morning. Everything was rushing around. Then I just decided, you know what? I'll just go lay back down. I'll just tell them I'll be in when I'll be in. And I took a half a day. Oh, okay, cool. No. But I was making sure to note yesterday that they did make everybody hot. They were just like, make everybody. So we have the ability tree. I haven't decided what I kind of want to do with points yet. I haven't really explored though either because I didn't feel like I had as much time to last night since I was working a little bit on the premise that I was going to actually go into work. I did. I just ended up mental health. But boy, things cost points out the ass in terms of like anything that you've already learned and you're trying to either master or upgrade. These are all... I've mastered the art of jump. Sid will be climbed immediately upon arrival. Yeah, I agree. After the last few, it's kind of like, there's nothing, no hate, nothing wrong. They were still good in their own way, but also, So we've got a lunge here, X and square. Okay, I was about to say, don't make me do some combo that's freaking weird. Swiftly close in and attack. And we've got, a down thrust. Ooh, that might be nice. You know me, I like them combos. Ooh, I haven't heard much of his voice yet. Burning Blade. R2. Pay attention to an enemy target. So maybe like, is it? Yeah, I was gonna say I looked at the name now. I was like, so taunting it maybe into, baiting it essentially maybe. So probably good to try to gear up for parries or something. Recover immediately after being knocked. Ooh, that might be nice. That happened a lot last night. X while in the air to kick off a nearby enemy, increasing jump height and duration. Okay. And hold the triangle to increase the potency of a magic spell. Okay. Magic burst. Execute a magic burst on the ground. Aerial burst. Execute in the air. Extends trigger window. Huh. Yeah, but ooh. I'm trying to, because I probably need to do a little something with ability points just because it probably would be beneficial to be working with things. I could also stash them, I guess. Is there anything right now that I was... Let's do the knockdown thing. Where was that? If I can remember to use it. But let's grab this really quick. We'll do that. And we can reset stuff. There we go. Shimmy. There we go. Alright, there's attack, magic.
Do you think a retreating army and their dominant will fare any better?
That's the Phoenix Strike thing. That's the dodge. Okay. I just gotta, remember what certain buttons do what just off the top of my head so I can Hopefully it won't be as big of a problem since I plan to be playing this pretty much back to back. Okay, that's a nice little touch. Do I have the game volume up high enough for you to hear that? We've got the ice doing that creaking as it gets heated.
By the flames.
More smears. So, you said the music portion was very much 14, so, like most of the music or the touches to the music? Because I know we got, like, a lot of preluding happening. I was feeling like somehow some of the battle music kind of gave me sort of that, general battle music in Final Fantasy X, like those sort of some of those beats. But maybe again it was just because that's what I've heard that matched it more than like being able to hear a lot of the Final Fantasy XIV music. I've heard some of it, but not a lot. Of course, then I was like, maybe they put something for everything in here because then I was like, oh, it's 13 years later. Usually they go with round numbers. 10 years later, 15 years later. And I was like, oh, there's our 13 callback.
Titan
All
has
right.
knocked the fight out of our Iron Blood friends. Where are the rest of them? That can't be the main host.
Battle music
Wait.
and the fanfare. Okay, I did get to hear that.
Our fortunes have turned, Sergeant. It's her.
The Dominant. Are you certain?
The Crystalline Orthodox is a backwards faith for a backwards people. In the Iron Kingdom, they teach that dominants are unclean aberrations, born of blackest sin. Only their priests are allowed to perform the rites of priming. And I see many.
We end this quickly.
So, last time, you know, we ended with like this flashback ended with him getting grabbed up by Mommy Bitchiest. Oh, is that Jill? Okay, okay, okay. I should probably check out some music.
What Alvation now came Alad Scully asked.
But then, like, because we'd seen those marks, they were called something.
Let this be the end.
Avis, care to
Lovely.
kill some
Okay,
Iron
let's
Blood?
try to remember how
Gladly.
to game.
Wifey,
All right.
you focus on the target.
Understood.
Let's see. Damn. Oh shit, this bitch. Alright. Okay, let's figure this shit out. What is her combos here? Oh, man. I'm still very bad at parrying. delay on that.
Not this time.
There we go.
Orders, Sergeant! Stop gawping and move! Fucking icons. Icon? She's not even fully primed.
Come on. But like, so I am wondering if because it sounds like they're on like an assigned mission essentially. And we noticed that these folks that with these marks
I will not have that.
were used as slave labor. And with Mommy taking him, it would make sense that she would, you know, bitch face McGee. But then also, like, one thing I had a thought about last night, and I'm just going to share it before I forget. Is that when we were doing the icon fight, we had some, like, POV. From, like, you know, Joshua and Clive, but if I couldn't remember, and I was like not really able to discern like immediately because I was really gonna have to rewatch probably the whole thing. And but when we were doing the POVs, like, and you had Joshua and like from his eyes, not just like him talking, but from his eyes and stuff, it seemed like it was from the perspective of Phoenix, and each time it did that when it would give us his POV shot. But then when it did Clive, it seemed like it was from outside Ifrit. It was like down on the ground looking up at all of that crap. So I don't know if that was like, if I am remembering correctly, that's the only way it happened for actual POV shots that indicate we were seeing from their perspective and their eyes. And if that is the case, if it was a creative decision, like in terms of just more like how things were going down, obviously seeing POV of that, but also like, you know, just that indication that he, like, just to kind of give more of that hint that he's not in control necessarily, or if there's something more to it than that, or if that really is it, just more like, it's just, you know. Also, it's not, we're being pretty brutal, but we don't want to put you right in the POV of that, but also discerning very much he's not in control. Telegraphing of major attacks, Super 14 raid boss action. Watch the ground. Don't stand there. Got it. Hey, I did get to do some small ones early on, so I did kind of know that. But then it was also one of those things where I was new, so would be watching a cutscene. There was one time where I just got locked completely out of one, like because I watched a cutscene. Everybody went in or something. I don't know. It was just really, especially since it was like early game beginner quests. I don't know why there was people in there that were seemingly skipping the cutscenes, and honestly at one point I tried to skip a cutscene and I couldn't figure out how, and I was like, I don't even know what to do now. So this is just getting irritating, and because I'm not even able to get any time to figure out the raids, it started to get kind of frustrating because I really just wasn't understanding it, like especially with everybody doing their own damn thing, and no way to communicate really. Even if you use chat, it wasn't really effective. So we got two frozen tears. That's okay. Potion, high potion, can use. Steel silk. Okay. So we got a lot of stuff. Yeah, I since I kind of stopped getting in as much detail.
Is she dead?
I don't think so.
After a certain point with, so I didn't spoil myself too much on everything. Some of what I did know about like who's dominant, or maybe some of those small details that they released in profiles early on, I've probably forgotten.
That's not you. Not here.
I'll bloody do it then.
Shit.
Fuck. We've got
Yeah.
company, Wyvern.
And that makes sense though. If you're gonna have stuff like that, having a way to tell.
What the hell are you doing?
Lord Ohida Vedra!
Get your ass over here and help me with these bastards!
I'm sorry, Jill.
Well, fuck yeah. Hey, Doc. How's it going? That's this game in a nutshell. Just, well, fuck. I think I'm more interested to see if I will still be surprised
What's wrong with you, Wyvern?
at shit later in the game. What do you mean, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with you?
I know her. Know her? Look around you! Do you think any of these animals care? I need you here!
Too slow.
Easy enough.
Now that that's done,
How's it going?
I won't ask you again, Wyvern. Take her head so we can be done with this.
I can't. I won't.
She's my precious.
Betray the Holy Empire?
Betray? I don't recall ever pledging allegiance to your Emperor. My service may have been bought with this brand, but not my loyalty. I just fight to survive.
And you think
Lovely.
I don't? The Empire will have our heads if we return empty handed. So if you won't take hers, I'll have to take yours.
I told you, Sergeant. I'm not dying here today. And neither is she.
Let's find out.
There we go. You don't usually swear just because of Storm. Because they're like, well, we're committed now.
Wyvern,
Ah.
have you forgotten who plucked you from the front lines? Who trained you? Who gave you a name when you had none?
Hey, all of those guys fucking died on me. You just kind of
I've always had it,
placeholder.
and I've not forgotten it.
Still clinging to the past like a torn blanket. Then you will die, as you should have 13 years ago.
Oh, well now we're just getting personal.
For nothing. No one. And I will not fall by your hand.
go. Tiamat bested. Tiamat, really? But yeah, it's like, well, if we're just gonna start off with like wall humping and smears of intestines all across the rocky terror, just fucking let loose. Cause of the storm. Why not? Why right? A nuisance upon which to stub one's toe, but to the blacksmith it is much, much, much more. Inexpensive yet durable gear. Alright, and meteorite. Cool. Sweet. Just kind of skimming some of those descriptions for any necessary lore. Not today. Are they war crying or cheering? It's actually hard to tell. Watching some of these guys just be like in the background, like that'd be me. I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, that's too long to run. Never mind. Oh, are we about to get to climb somebody? Well, if you can make an entrance like that. I think we found my mount for the game. The music. Hello.
This way.
It's Fuck Me Friday. Is this his theme? Because it's fucking great.
Well, come on then.
I don't know if I like you or hate you yet, but right now I'm just gonna go with like. I'm a little bit hesitant to like him too much too soon for fear that he will turn out to be an asshole like many of the characters in this game. And Doggo. Yeah. They went, what haven't we had in Final Fantasy? Someone went hot Sid and they went, you know what, you're right.
Hugo dear, my proud desert lion. Would that you had taken care when chasing the hare. I expected more from the mighty Titan. You put the Ice Queen on her back, no doubt. But you'll have to work harder if you're to claim this prize.
This is true.
We'll be hearing more soon enough. We always were fucking snakes, Sid.
But remember, we've had assholes like in Tales. Alvin. Alvin was really an asshole, but he was my favorite character because at the end of the day, he grew on you. He had character development. That assholery came from a place that meant something.
Is it really you?
So let's hope and cross our fingers that he's an Alvin. Puppy Wuppy.
And who's this fine hound I see before me?
A fine hound who saved your life. That's who.
Good God. Rhea?
Torgal.
Eh?
His name is Torgal.
You two acquainted? Well then, you won't mind taking him off my hands.
I mean, he took care of a dog, so it's got to be something
Always
good in him.
pictured you as more the chocobo type. Clive Rosfield. Come now. Fleet as flame, fierce as a wildfire. That there was the blessing of the Phoenix.
Somebody bless this man with butter for a voice.
I'd heard rumors that you'd survived, but I never paid them much heed. Calm down. I didn't come all this way for your handsome mug. Now her, on the other hand, she seemed worth muddying my boots for.
Sorry, I'm zoning out altogether on this. Like, let me pay attention to something
worst
besides his
Still,
ass.
it might be best to get a second opinion. Back her up.
Afraid I'm gonna need to strip search you, sir.
I mean it.
Well, I'm not about to leave her here. Not one with a warm bed waiting. It's all right. You're welcome to join us. You do want to help her, don't you?
Sid, if we aren't back soon, Nan'll have our heads.
The fact that the one bitch, Karen, knows where, knows Sid.
I'll explain everything once we're back at the hideaway. Come on.
It's got a lot of plays to it. He's not immediately being, like, completely jerky standoffish. I have a feeling like maybe it's gonna, like, but he clearly has some sort of in, and she was saying he's like kind of a, what's the word that she used? Basically, he's kind of does his own thing, it sounds like. So he probably, again, I just get callbacks to Alvin, like playing both sides of the field kind of thing to his own game, you know, like, because he's got his own shit he's working with. So, wow. Well. Oh, the little crystally. There's the purple one. So, well. You got me going up to the hideaway. Central storm deadlands, the withered remnants of a once verdant valley, long consumed by the blight. One would have to be either extremely foolish or extremely desperate, or an extremely desperate fool to make this wasteland their home. I mean, there's a fanfic already out there somewhere, I'm sure, where that is the case, at the very least. But, you know, then again, I've just been seeing flirt everywhere since I got in here, so maybe I'm just horny. I don't know. Wishful thinking.
Not much further now.
But we're in the middle of the Deadlands.
Keen eye, you. The blight sucked this place dry. Meaning no trees, no birds, and no magic. But it also means no neighbors.
The last place anyone would think to look.
He looks very much like his younger self right in that moment. I'm assuming the blight is just the blight, whatever blight is and sounds like.
Home sweet home.
And that's a simple enough explanation. No trees, no birds, no magic, and no neighbors. I already can relate to Sid. Let's just... Hey, a Moogle.
This place. These are fallen ruins.
Well, we didn't think they'd mind. And it keeps the black from our lungs.
But how do you survive without magic?
does anyone. Hard work and a bit of nerve. You must be starving. We grow them here, believe it or not. Suit yourself.
You're back.
Ah, are you?
And this is the Dominant.
How cold since we found her. I was hoping you might give her a look over.
Just got a chair strapped to his back.
Get her upstairs.
But none will...
Don't fret about Karen. I've taken care of her fee.
All of it?
She's the best healer this side of the belt. You've nothing to worry about. Go on, have a look around.
Gots to have the moves. Just what role do they play in this one? Hide away. Detailed map of the current area and the main scenario destinations are marked. Sweet. The fat chocobo! The faucet storeroom. White hats? Aids? We got the cells. Well, might as well wander. Why not? Take a look around. See if there's anybody to talk to.
Still hungry, are you? Might have something round here.
Woofy woof. Take a look. Hi. Surly indeed. Music just stops.
Another newcomer. You mind the rules round here, or our next chat will be through the bars. Another newcomer. You mind the rules round here, or our next chat will be through the bars.
What's your name? Gower. Anybody we know down here? Hello. So dark. It's an interesting choice, just having the music stop down there. Maybe it just makes it feel a little bit more bleak.
The washroom floor's all mended then?
It'll hold.
That leads up into there. I guess we can kind of go back off into here.
I suppose I'll be needing a new sword.
Then you'll need to speak with Blackthorn.
People and their chicken. Hi. Chicken, chicken, chicken. I'm harassing it. Am I gonna get attacked by chickens if I do it enough? Probably. Every time. Like, chickens in games. Just aggressive.
The blight doesn't kill the land, it only makes her forget who she once was. She'll eventually remember her purpose. All she needs is a little reminding.
Oh, look at there. Moogly moogle. And the infirmary off this way too. Studious soul.
Your brand. Lady Tyre might be able to see to that. You may have been born a slave, but you're a free man now.
You got one?
Leave me be.
Not until you've had your medicine.
Stubborn old fool won't take his meds.
These apples are all foul. Would you
out?
Have an apple. Let's see.
He's a soldier then.
Be surprised if he wasn't. The smell of war is thick about him.
So, looks like there's a bunch of like branded
He's
people.
not out chasing rumors. Sits up there in that hole of his, brooding and scheming.
Lay off the man. Got plenty to brood about.
Is this like a jukebox?
When lightning struck, his yoke did break, his life his own again. With thunder's roll, he knew his fate and would fight it to the end. Well, what do you think? I woke this morn inspired.
I like it. Spoony Bard.
Careful, you. I've spent the whole morning on these steps.
Final Fantasy Witcher crossover.
Just working on a pet project of mine. Well, she's not above biting the hand that feeds her. Alright. I was hoping we might try and solve the mystery of poor Clive Rossfield. The bearer of the Sambrequois Imperial Army sent behind enemy lines. With orders to wait until it turned into a brawl, then slit the dominant's throat in the chaos.
I didn't know it was her.
Ah, I gotcha. Hey, no problem. But thanks for being here.
So, to save her neck, you slit your sergeants, then set your sights on the hills. Conveniently forgetting how the Empire deals with deserters. Because with that on your chop, my friend, we both know you won't be getting far.
Can't be gone yet.
You've
Ah.
come a long way, Lord Rossfield.
I mean, it's been a whole lot of shitholery, so.
I'll not have it said that I'm a poor host.
What do you mean to do with her?
Do with her? Why, nothing.
There was rumble
Life is her
action
own
during
now.
that wine pour.
If I wanted to use her, do you think I'd be talking to you? All I want to do is help. Dominants like her, branded like you. Of course, the realm doesn't approve, which is why we live in a cave.
It's so matter of fact.
It's also why we need help. From branded who know one end of a sword from the other. What say you, Clive? Will you join us?
I mean, it's not like you can just go back and not like it was a great place to be.
Sid, was it? I trust that you'll do right by Jill. But until my brother is avenged, I must walk my own path.
Avenged?
My brother was murdered by a second dominant of fire.
Phoenix's evil twin. Oh, bugger me. Another rumor proven true.
I only stand here today because of Joshua. 13 years I've waited for this chance. I've slept in filth, drunk from a gutter, killed more men than I can count. You're right. The Empire will not suffer a deserter. This will be my best opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much.
Which which is why you should join us.
I told you I'm not
Interested, I know.
He's like, yeah, I heard you the first time.
One of my scouts sent word there's a group of branded fugitives north of here, in the imperial village of Lostwing. Among them is one he believes to be a dominant of fire.
So,
certain.
he doesn't know it was him.
What say we go and ask him?
Because that's what I was trying to figure out. Is he being intentionally, vague? Because obviously he's just not sure
Doesn't mean I'm joining you.
what was going on that caused the change or whatever, and trying to figure out the mystery behind it. Or did he just literally not realize it was him? So would be...
You'll find everything you need down in the main hall, as well as a few things you don't. Have fun.
I mean, it'd be more fun if, we could just go somewhere together, cuddle and keep warm.
It's downstairs. Try not to get lost. It's downstairs. Try not to get lost.
Lordy. So, yeah. But yeah, so the way he genuinely seemed like, oh my god, really, is it true? Is there someone they think is the dominant of fire there? It seems he doesn't realize that he was involved in that mess.
Goots, was it? Perhaps you can help. Sid asked me to make ready for our mission. How does one go about that here?
Well, there's old Nan's place. On second thoughts, you maybe want to see Blackthorn first.
A blacksmith? To the forge it is, then.
The Forgy Forge.
Oh wait, no, hold up. You'll be needing this. Blackthorn won't take no notice of you otherwise. Might not anyway.
All blacksmiths just be like that.
Forge is down the end. Just follow the sound of Blackthorn's hammer.
Ugh.
Fancy a mug of Kenneth's coldest when we're done.
Are you Blackthorn?
What if I am? I've no time for idle chatter.
I'm not here to talk. I'll be accompanying Sid to Lostwing, and I need you to see to my equipment.
You could be accompanying the goddess Krieger to our holy bedchamber for all I care. I'm not lifting a finger for you.
Is that so?
Ah. Bribing with booze. Noisome spirit better suited to stripping oil from a painter's canvas than consumption. Been there. Grants overworked conscripts a few rare moments of sweet oblivion on their long, arduous sea journeys north from the continent.
Do you want that or not? I can take it back.
Damn you, Goots. Alright. No need to be hasty.
Praise alcoholism, I guess.
I doubt that lot could stay a Moogle's fart. Bloody Imperials. They'd rather see their bearers dead than kitted out properly. I'll do what I can, as a favor to Goot's mind.
Crafting of new gear as well as upgrading of existing gear. As long as you have the recipe and the proper materials. Select the highlighted item from this. Hold X. Okay. Alright, so then we just...
Well, Caesar Square. You want anything else? You bring your own materials.
I'll bear that in mind. Thank you.
Easy enough, I guess.
A word of advice. Don't let Sid decide what's best for you.
Okay. Notice in the upper right hand corner, the stock updates, where Karen stole, new forging recipes for the Black Hammer, notices for new quests and missives.
I suppose I should thank Boots.
Cool. Alright. Gotcha. We have photo mode. Unable to get just the right angle or lighting? Use photo mode to craft tailor-made images that will dazzle your friends and followers. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh wow. Oh, this is bad. This is... Oh God, we gotta go see Sid again. Oh my God. Yes. Oh, hold on, wait. We've got, let me see. You can, Dutch angle the shit out of your stuff, and then of course, move the field of view. Do you want Clive or don't you? And then get your blur and do your focal distances. How much do you want the blur? Okay. I was seeing what all they had there. They're like, we ain't gonna do filters. They'll probably throw something like that in with an update, but I suppose if you got pretty enough scenery, you don't need to color correct. But then again, there's always third-party crap for that. All right. Okay.
I see I'm busy here. Well, I ain't the cook, am I? Look. You got anything needs repairing?
Ugh. All right.
So, what it be?
Game progression. Yeah. No shit. So we need more wire, right, for the broadsword. But we're at 130 with our DLC shit. So we'll probably end up picking up another piece of equipment in the meantime. I don't know how much it drops, though. I suppose we can... We do a +2... Gotcha. Huh. Do iron belt 2. Oh, gotcha. Iron bracers +1. Okay. So, I guess it's
Not bad, if I do say so myself. You can thank me later.
There we go. Might as well.
That it? Fine.
I guess. Wrong one. Gear. Yes, we got those. Huh. I guess it would do me well to know what I'm actually wearing in most cases. So, perfect, I guess. Let's go back into the abilities here. So we got... How do I want to play this? Let's go ahead and do that. Alright. So, anything else? Not really, it looks like. So we can go do quest.
The gift worked. You have my thanks.
I made a belt and a bracer.
Come on, nearly there.
He just makes random noises. More people.
You, blankets, quick as you like. Right, we make it comfortable while the bed's made up. Well, you're just gonna stand there? Someone fetch some water.
I'll get the bucket. You go and see if I don't needs out, eh?
It's
Wait,
what?
Me?
I don't understand this guy.
What the hell have I got myself into?
Got me. Right now. Yes. Looks fine to me. Yes.
Who are they?
Huh? They're freed Imperial bearers. Who the hell are you? Shit, at this rate, he won't make it through the night. Think you can find your way up them stairs to the infirmary? We need Tyre. Well, go on.
I don't know how to stare.
Shift your ass.
The lady gets it quick as you like, and I get to shift your arse. Jesus. Everybody just got a bug up their butt.
Your friend needs her rest. There'll be time for tearful reunions once she's recovered.
Don't make assumptions, lady.
You're wanted downstairs. There are injured bearers in need of attention.
Well, why didn't you say so?
I did say so.
Thank you for saying that out loud. Everybody's a dick. I mean, I get it. This is a fucked up world. Like, there is nothing happy about this world. Like, I can't think of... It's not even like, hey, some people got it good, some people got it bad. No, everybody sucks. Everything sucks. There's not one speck of good. Like, at least some Final Fantasy, there were cities where there was, like, some partying, some dancing, some, you know, just, you know, we had Blitzball and shit happening in Final Fantasy X. You know, you've got, you know, different things, but this is, everything is run down.
To many of the bearers who
everything
come here
dying.
arrive in this state.
It's no easy thing, casting off your chains. By the time most pluck up the courage, they're already too far gone. These two here are the lucky ones. The name's Otto. You need anything? You ask me.
Well, Otto, I do need some supplies.
Do you now? Then Lady Karen over there will be more than happy to help you.
Right.
Oh. And thanks. Be seeing you.
Not likely.
He was just calling out what he was seeing.
Is that right? Well, for as long as you are here, consider yourself welcome. You helped us today, and we won't forget it.
I was just noticing, the, like, after he come out of that, like, the way his, like, face had been squinting. Green icon above the heads of certain NPCs. These indicate they have a quest to offer. And we have a to-do list. Quest objectives will appear in the to-do list, located on the right side of the screen. Main scenario and up to 3 side quests can be displayed. And any quest can be prioritized in the journal tab. 1,000 tomes, an ever-growing compendium of all things Valisthea, and the Orchestrion, a personal jukebox. I was right! It's a jukebox for songs collected throughout the game. Both are located in the Hideaway's Eatery, the Fat Chocobo, and can be found on the local map.
Who are these people?
Sweet. So, about face.
Do you think we should go and help? It sounds simple.
Hello, Kenneth.
Ah, a new face. And, dare I hope, a willing pair of hands. The Fat Chocobo is a demanding mistress, and we are too few to keep her on her feet. Might I persuade you to deliver a meal or two to souls in need of sustenance?
Going to bed?
For your trouble, I can offer you the contents of my strongbox and my enduring gratitude.
Jonathan's going to bed.
Bye-bye.
Ria's on.
You gonna stay up some more and play?
Yeah.
Since you don't have to get up early in the morning?
Yeah.
Later.
I was gonna say that, like, he was telling us all about how we did such a great service, but he was the one just like, move your arse up the stairs, tell her to come down and help us heal. And boy, if that's all it took, I'd have so many promotions by now if that's all it took. Help keep the Fat Chocobo running.
I don't see why not.
Marvelous. And who exactly do I have the honor of addressing?
Clive.
Delighted to make your acquaintance, Clive. I'm Kenneth, and mine are the weary shoulders upon which the weight of this fine establishment rests. Now, I have 3 hungry customers awaiting their victuals. Take these if you would, and be careful, they're hot.
I mean, there's a few hot things. you can hold down to prioritize. Okay. Keep forgetting that everything in this game is click and hold for the purposes of not fucking shit up.
How long has it been?
Can you take too long? Like, just stand around and be like... Nah. Where did we put it?
Well. There's so much more to farming than just seeds and soil.
Your food.
Just a moment. I need to finish this. I won't be a burden. I'm of no use to anyone as I am, but maybe if I can master this.
All right, but see that you eat it before it gets cold.
Of course. Thank you. Never knew dung had so many uses.
Okay, it's gonna be the just random dialogue that gets me in this game.
Your food.
I was hoping it might be. Well, doesn't this look fine? Thank you, lad. You're new, aren't you? Kenneth's running you ragged already, I expect, the old rascal.
Well, he did say he'd give me something for my trouble.
And so he should. We're not slaves anymore. Well met, lad, and keep up the good work.
Well, at least that one was a fair bit more sociable.
You'd think he'd have time for a nip with old August before scampering back to his solar, but no.
Lonely, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, my thanks. I hope you do not think me lazy for waiting to be served like a lord. Only my former master did not use me kindly, you see. He left me half lame, truth be told. But Sid took me in nonetheless. The hideaway is the home I never knew, and a mighty fine one at that.
That's the last one. I'd better let Kenneth know.
I'd be cast out and left for dead when Sid found me. There's not a day goes by.
They're saying too many things that are like nice.
The Ironblood were quick to sound the retreat once Titan turned up.
Far lot of good that icon of good.
Like, there's just no way there's gonna be any like bright spot in this world.
Splendid. They were bearers. All three of them. Not slaves waiting upon their master's pleasure, but men waiting to be fed like equals.
Indeed, equality is the very cornerstone upon which our little community is founded. Beyond these walls, we are scorned as slaves, speaking only when spoken to, eating only what scraps our masters deign to give us. The first hot meal here is the first many will have known. In the hideaway, we are free, truly free to speak as we please, when we please, and to eat what and when we desire. More than reason enough to trust in Sid's vision, wouldn't you say? Now, I promised you something for your trouble, did I not? The contents of my strongbox are yours to do with as you will. Thank you, Clive. Do come and visit me again, won't you?
He's like, just have all my stuff for taking 3 bowls of food to people. I mean, I suppose given just the way they never had anything, and like it's a paying it forward kind of thing, I suppose, if you want to put a little bit of a lore spin on side quests. Let's see. Treasure coffers. Just waiting to be plundered. Kick it open. Badge of metal. I believe that was... What is that? Increased defense by 10. Why not? And,
It's nice to see the hideaway finally coming alive. Wasn't so long ago us old hands were ratting about the place like peas in a bucket.
Kinda like this guy.
Do you think we should go and help?
It sounds like Otto has everything under control, as always.
When he's not out chasing rumors, sits up there in that hole of his, brooding skin.
Okay. Background music played in the highway can be changed accessing checklists expanded by using orchestrion rules acquired from the main scenario quest shops or treasure coffers. Gotcha. So no, we're gonna go back to the witty hideaway. That one's a little bit too you know, melancholy.
Next time you're in, first round's on the ass.
If you can read, don't let Otto know. We'll put you to work on the ledgers too.
Lank-locked bear. Oh god.
Eat your food while it's hot and see that none goes to waste.
It's like don't let him
Follow
know.
those two simple rules, and you will always be welcome at the Fat Chocobo.
Clive link confirmed. Oh god, that's just
Who knew dung had so many uses?
still reading about dung. Wizened man.
Yours is not a familiar face. Are you new to the hideaway, perchance?
You could say that.
Well then, allow me to welcome you. I am Harpocrates II Hyperboreus.
That's,
a mouthful.
Quite a mouthful, I know. Which is why everyone here has taken to calling me simply Tomes, on account of the company I keep. And what varied company. I'm a collector, you see. Not of bijou and baubles, but of stories. The history and culture of these isles have ever been a source of endless fascination to me. But alas, my days of wandering the realm in search of new tales are far behind me. And so I've taken to sharing that which I've gathered with all who might listen. Perhaps you would care to listen.
What are we looking at?
When I was very young,
I keep forgetting. You talk and they stop. And lived beyond these shores. My father would read me every night from the only book we had, A History of Wallachia by Moss the Chronicler. So enchanted was I by this realm of myth and magic that when I was of age I enlisted as a deckhand on a merchant galley that I might see it with my own eyes.
yet when I arrived...
Thank you. What I found was a land of war and suffering, darkened by the blight and the evil in men's hearts. Still, I was determined to follow in the footsteps of Moss and record what I could, so I did in all manner of places and all manner of roles until my aging legs could carry me no more.
Fortunately,
He said, found me by the roadside, so to speak, and offered me a place here where I might continue my studies, albeit without the wandering. So, the Thousand Tools.
I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before.
Comprehensive lore book. Everything from basic terms to important persons, geography, history, new information is constantly added as life progresses. Past active Time War entries can also be viewed here.
I have a few new notes that might interest you. What subject shall we consider today?
Oh my god. This is great. Oh, they give you lore levels. We have lore levels. Oh my god. Relevant topics, persons of interest, lay of the land, mysteries of the realm, the bestiary, and you can just fucking search. I look forward to hearing your tales of daring do. Battle of Nisa, the Deadlands, Sid's Hideaway. Bearer. A person with the power to cast magics without a crystal. Good info. Okay, they don't have to have a crystal. In Valisthea, men and women who awaken as bearers are enslaved. They are marked with a brand upon their cheek and used as tools, a cheaper alternative to the scarce and precious shards. This system of slavery has persisted for centuries and has become so ingrained in Valisthean life that few take pity upon the bearer's plight, seeing them as less than human. Related topics. Oh, this is pretty sweet though, actually. The art of channeling ether to make one's imagination manifest. This can take the aspect of one of the 8 elements, fire, water, wind, earth, ice, thunder, light, and dark, or more rarely, be unaspected. While bears and dominants can cast spells at will, others require a crystal to do so. Magic is a part of everyday life for the people of Valisthea, making it all but unlivable when they are deprived of its gift. We've seen this shit before. So the brand then. The mark applied to the cheeks of bearers across Valisthea, identifying them as something other than human. Newborn babes are checked at birth, those who are found to be bearers being branded and taken into the custody of the state. This is fucked. Rarely bearers evade this test, either because their parents hide them, the testers are lax in their duties, or their powers do not awaken until later, yet most do not remain unbranded for long. The great nations of Valisthea have a long-standing accord to brand their bearers in this way that the slaves might be traded across borders. What the shit? Bearers forced to fight for the nations that enslaved them, able to cast powerful magics yet entirely disposable. They are often placed on the front lines in battle or assigned to highly dangerous scouting or assassination missions. Let's see, what was it? Brain soldiers, crystals, okay. Good fucking... I'm opening a lot of pages. Oops. Good God, though. Shit. Huh. Dominant, those within whom sleeps the power of an icon. Though they look and think no differently to any other man or woman, they can not only cast elemental magics without a crystal, but also transform themselves into beasts of world-shattering strength at any moment, a quality for which they are honored, worshipped, and feared the realm over. What the fuck is priming? Oh, the act of a dominant transforming their living flesh into that of their icon. Dominants most often prime during times of war, using immense strengths of their icons to turn the tides of battle, though it is usually done deliberately, the dominant remaining in control of the icon even when primed. On occasion, a dominant will lose control of their powers and see their icon run riot. And then, magical beings of godlike strength who dwell within human hosts. Only emerging when the dominant primes. History records 8 icons in total, each with a unique elemental affinity. It is commonly held that 2 icons of the same element cannot coexist, but as none has ever witnessed all of these rare creatures together, the conjecture is yet to be proved. Wow. Okay. So we got a lot.
Did you learn everything you needed?
I mean, we could spend days on that. You keep doing the poo studies. All right. Let's get out of here. Dang. Because that's what I kind of want to dig into this lore, but it's one of those things where I feel like maybe I'll be like a little bit of checking like the active time lore and the tomes stuff, but then also just sort of rolling with what they give a little bit during the game. But it seems like so far they might have it split between giving us what we need for the story But then if you really want to know a little bit deeper, kind of digging into the lore, and if that's the case, that's going to be about the best way I can think to balance it.
Damn it. We'll be needing more wood. If I step away to fetch any, this lot will be down around our ears. Ah, you there. Perfect timing. Couldn't persuade you to fetch me some timber, could I?
Sure.
I'd be happy to.
I've got wood.
Oh, thank you. You'll be helping me and the hideaway both. Takes a lot of work to keep this place
Where'd
standing.
the Moogle go?
More than we can manage, if I'm honest.
It certainly looks like you've got your hands full.
Ah, you can say that again. The Fallen knew their craft, make no mistake, but not even their handiwork lasts forever. That's why the walls need shoring up. Can't have the vegetable patch crushed before our first harvest now, can we?
No, I suppose not. All right, where can I find this wood?
Ask over at the White Ants. They'll point you in the right direction. Thanks again. I really appreciate the help.
I mean, you know, it is a mature rated game. What an interesting sound that chicken makes. Hi, doggy.
Excuse me. The man working over by the garden sent me to fetch some wood.
Ah, that'll be Geoffrey, Master Carpenter. Luck would have it, we've just finished cutting the timber he's after. You take as much as you need from the stack.
Thank you.
I don't think he said how much, but you know, I'm sure we'll guess right
We
anyway.
appreciate the assistance.
Fuck that phone. I pretty much got what you were going for. I'm with you on that one. There's so many times where I'm being absolutely careful to,
better get this too.
You know, do what I need to do.
Was it?
All the wood you're likely to need is
spell
piled up
things
just
right.
over there, ready for Master Geoffrey.
But you know, it'll still get fucked up. No, I don't want to keep going. I want to keep playing.
Oh, you're back. Hope fetching that wood wasn't too much trouble.
I'll just take it right out of my pocket.
Must be enough.
This will do nicely, thank you. With a bit of luck, the walls won't be falling in on us just yet.
That sounds ominous.
Oh, it's not as bad as all that. And it's a damn sight better than the alternative. We're safe, we're warm, and we're hidden. What more could we ask for? Now stop fretting and take this. You've earned it. Welcome to the family.
There's no need to...
It's not a matter of need, my friend. You're one of us now.
The dick is empty. Oh god, that's so good. What the hell? Kill bug? Contrary to popular belief, this small insect does not get its name from its appearance, but rather from the fact that it is highly sought after by physicers for use in brewing medicines. In summer, when the beetles are most numerous, children across the realm will spend nigh every waking hour collecting specimens in readiness to exchange them for a handful of coppers. As children have tiny hands, however, this amounts to fewer than one might expect. Just the smartassery in this game. This fucks me up.
This should be enough to shore things up for a little while yet. Thanks again.
Sid once told me the blight doesn't kill the land, it only makes everyone dead.
Alright. Let me just double check here. I mean, it is fucking funny, Rio.
What do you want?
Iron belt +2.
Yeah, that should do you.
Hey.
I need supplies for my journey to Lost Wing. Otto said you could provide them.
What's that? Does the newcomer think it proper to make demands of a poor old matron before even introducing himself?
It's Clive.
Well, Clive, I hear that dog is yours.
What's this got to do with
Since I
anything?
followed Sid home one night, I've seen to it that his chin's rubbed and his belly fed. Though I suppose that's your job now. Unless you lose him again.
I won't. Not again. Thank you for watching him.
So,
I don't like that.
something?
Don't start raising death flags for the dog.
Shower your lordship with my hard-won wares while you swagger about with a pocket full of gil. Life doesn't work that way, lad. Now, let's see some coin.
She's got 2 different colored eyes. Well, she makes a lot of assumptions. And yet it's somehow one of the least dickish people we've met. Most consumable items here be purchased. Shop stock changes as the story progresses. So. What was the fucking sword we had before? It's like a broadsword +1, isn't it? High potion, yeah, we're back down that shit. So we don't need any of that. That's what we had, I suppose. Imperial Infantry Blade. And the broadsword starts at 80. Something that's potentially upgradable, I suppose, if we wanted to do it just for the sake of doing it, but I also just don't want to, like, willy-nilly spend money. I have a hoarder, though. Maybe... There's the gill bug. Can be traded for gill. I mean, that seems to be its actual purpose. Sometimes I get paranoid because there'll be like fucking quest items and shit. So, I guess since we don't need the money right away, we'll keep it for now.
That's all.
Why, you've barely a gill to your name. You're taking his side now. After all I've
He's
done
so
for
big.
you. All right. All right, I can make an exception. But just this once, mind. My stores are getting cluttered and I need to make room for the next shipment.
Thank you.
Thank me? Thank your dog.
I mean, like, damn if, I know he was like a puppy, but 13 years and he's still kind of doing his thing. this gonna be? How do you say that? Arid stone? Customizable virtual battlescape. Safe location to test out new abilities and train against all manner of enemies. Additional options will become available as Clive progresses through the story. Hall of Virtue. Hone your battle skills in customizable training area. Fuck. So like... fully customizable. Open training menu to adjust enemy and ally parameters. Oh, okay, so... Alright. Magic burst timing. Do we have parry practice? All ability feat recast timers are ignored. Enemies will attack. Yeah, I mean... like, my thing is this parry. I've never understood it. Okay. Okay. Not that. Not that either. Might as well just turn on region. That one I'm not timing very well for sure. Okay. Yeah, the parry timing is not something I'm figuring out for sure. Not entirely sure how to time that one. There it was. Like, yeah, I kind of did that mastery.
That's enough.
Alright. Well, that's probably good for practicing against certain enemies then. Especially like with, yeah, some of that parry or dodge timing and stuff.
You all done?
Leaving already, are ya?
It's you I'll miss the most, Lady Karen. It always is.
Don't stop you going, does it?
This should be fun.
Right.
She just plays with Torgal. We gonna get a Torgal tutorial? We're still having to learn all this shit. I played last night and it was like, we reached the title screen, y'all. Now I gotta go to bed. Travel previously unlocked locations. New locations are unlocked by progressing through the main story or discovering waymarks. Those obelisks. Opens automatically upon leaving an area. It can also be accessed anytime via the main menu. Alright. I suppose there's that. Alright. Is chocobos.
There's a good girl. Hungry, are you?
Pretty, pretty. So cute. But level 11. Not bad. Let's see. Chocobo. Pretty chocobo. It's also usually a pretty good way to like be able to like just kind of take in some details and shit, you know? Like one eye open. So what, are you blind? Leave, oh, the training thing? This isn't like... I know. Its eye opened a little bit there. Got stuck in the training menu. I kind of saw it there when I was in it the first time changing enemies around and shit, so that probably helped. The Great Wood.
Bastard blood flies everywhere.
I told you we should have taken the Crystal Road.
I told you we're outlaws. You want every bounty hunter in Storm harrying us from here?
Why am I just
to the Holy Capital?
Kind of happy that they're both.
What's wrong with a shortcut through nature's splendor?
The Deadlands claim more of the realm each day. But a place like this still exists is a miracle in itself. Bloodflies and all.
We'll be back in Imperial land soon. You alright?
Never better.
Sounds like it. That there is a fine hound. Soon took to hunting. Fearless as you like.
It's good to have you back, Toggle.
Now, we don't want to be caught in the forest after nightfall.
I suppose not.
Lovely. Fanning Embers. A hero's best friend. Join the party, fight alongside Clive. So we've got the left D-pad to toggle between item shortcuts and pet commands. So we can sick, heal, and ravage. Attack, cure, and launch an enemy into the air. The accessory known as the Ring of Timely Assistance removes the need for giving Torgal commands. When this item is equipped, Torgal will attack and heal automatically based on the current battle situation. Gotcha.
Did I mention there'd be deadly beasts? There'll be deadly beasts. Nothing a trained assassin can't handle, though.
How reassuring.
Yeah.
You're welcome. For that and the shortcut.
Alright. Wow. Let's take some Torgal pictures. I'm a little bit away from him here, but rotate, move, and there we go. I gotta use photo mode at some point, right? And actually use it. There we go. Hello. Beautiful music. You almost just want to run and jump on everything. But you can't.
Maybe they're friendly like Torgal. Or maybe they're not.
Organs. Ah, lovely.
Not this time. Stay down. Don't let them get away. It's up.
There we go. Levels. I'm trying to play around with like knowing the pet menu, remembering my buttons. Trying to stop mixing them up. And I'm not even like mixing up just like one or two. I'm hitting the most random fucking buttons sometimes for the commands I'm trying to do. Now what? The fuck? Okay.
What in good Grieger's name is he doing this far south?
Looking for food. No more wolves where he's from. The north was one of the first parts of Storm to fall to the Blight.
Poor sod. I'd invite him over for a cup of tea if I didn't think he'd eat the dog.
I can't tell what all that was.
Let's try and stay out of its path.
Just Torgal like, yeah, no thanks, Sid. I mean, don't they say if like the dog trusts them or whatever, you know? Torgal seems to be fine with Sid for the most part.
Remember when I said there were deadly beasts? Well, the shrubs in these parts are much better.
And you only think to mention this now.
Lovely. Damn it. Come on.
Give them all you've got, boy.
Well, that's the undergrowth sorted. I'll take it from here.
There we go. Let's see. Nothing else. Item. And break the tree or squeeze on through or whatever we're gonna do.
After you.
Thank you kindly.
You could have taken a little bit longer. Take your time, you know.
The ruins. They're everywhere, aren't they?
Some say there was a time they blocked out the stars. Down was the only way left for them to go. There's probably a lesson to be learned.
I feel like I learned at some point who Sid's voice actor was, but I've long forgotten.
Mind your head.
Sure. Sharp fangs. Guess we'll get plenty of crafting materials and shit. I mean, you know we got a floating leaf. Look at him. All sorts of magic. We want the backlighting. Do we want a nice side view? Do we just want the crotch and the ass? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, that's not a terrible view. We can get the lovely leaf in there, because I think we're just gonna be stuck with that one. I'm not liking it a little bit. There we go, I suppose. Let's see about the... Let's see if this fixes anything, kind of. Does help with pop a little bit there. I've got enough shit that takes up space. I really gotta go through that, because maybe I should turn off like that. Like auto. I never really have. Love the little Torgal. What should I say? Pixel sprite. Isn't anything you really recognize for the VA? Like, that's what I was getting. I was like getting this vibe that maybe I'd seen at some point about the
A wyvern.
I can see that. Doesn't happen to be a friend of yours, does he?
go.
My wounds, boy.
There we go. Got it. No spoils. There we go. Oh, that's a lot of sharp fangs. And a dragon talon. Seems we only get stuff like that about one at a time. Alright, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. I'm just gonna, like, in the heat of battle, I am going to forget which menu I'm on between the pet and the...
Keep your eyes open.
Like, you know, potion. Thank you.
Well, it appears we won't be going this way.
Scan.
I'll admit I hadn't counted on that.
Boy, he really took off up ahead.
What is it, boy?
Instead, I think we should follow the dog. Animal. Why trust in your own animal instinct when you now have an actual animal at your side? If you're lost, hold down L3 and let Torgal point you in the right direction. So we can go up there. Oh, here we go. Magicked ash.
At least one of us knows these woods. Thank you, Torgal.
Bark. Two sharp fangs.
Well, they look not too happy. And for once, it's not my fault.
Oops. Hey. Take it easy. Alright, that's fine.
I don't think they care, Sid.
There we go. Take those mortal blows. Sit over here fighting this thing. There we go.
Had to be done.
Doesn't mean I have to like it.
No. No, it doesn't.
Alright. Yes, yes. Alright. That was rowdy. Definitely not my smoothest ambush. Lovely. More. You can just really tell where the enemies are going to pop out. Fuck, what is it now? Because we already had a Marlboro. It's going to be the lizard. Lovely. Horny toads for the win, I guess. armadillo lizard, more or less.
That sword sharp.
You'd better hope so.
Maybe, maybe not.
This shouldn't take too long.
So much for your shortcut.
Still short. Not quite as quick. But it'll be a damn sight quicker if you help me.
Alright.
My thoughts exactly.
Man, he's so big it's gonna be a little bit rough, I think. Let's figure it out.
Sick of Torgal.
Come on.
A little help. Torgal.
Damn.
There's a good boy.
Go.
A little help. Over here. Don't let them get away.
Aye, someone's got the hook. Where he stops, no one knows.
Damn. What if we killed him first? Give them all you've got, boy.
Fucking wrong button.
Don't let them get away.
Really gotta watch for that shit.
Torgal. Better already.
Okay.
Not this time. Get him.
Come on.
Too slow.
There we go. Fafnir of the North. God, I'm really having to concentrate on those fights. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to be thoughtful with it. It's not the worst I've done. At least I still have some potions left over.
Come on. Stand back.
They knew what they were doing, giving him electricity.
You're a dominant.
I am. Aye. But not by choice, mind. Old bloody Rome of strapping young lads. And it was this sorry sack of bones Ramu saw fit to home.
Sid, you say you want to help dominants and bearers. What's in it for you?
2.0.
What's in it for me? The same as for all of us. What we want and deserve. Save for our knack, dominants and bearers are no different from anyone else. The ability to use magic or summon great beasts should command respect, but instead has left us outcasts. Our kind are used and discarded like tools, yet we are men, so why must we die as less?
I see. So what you're saying is you want to start a war.
You flatter me, lad. But my days as a firebrand are long behind me. No, I only wish to offer our kind of choice. A place where we can die on our own terms. Huh?
It's not... I mean, so far I don't see the asshole. Like... In all seriousness there, because right now everything he's doing makes sense. Now Joshua was sick. He's coughing up blood too after using that ability. So like I haven't seen enough of the other dominants, I guess, to know if this is a consistent thing that's happening. With all of them, I mean, they're almost indicating that it's got some sort of physical ramification for them. Like, but they haven't outright stated that they die young or anything. So I don't know yet, but they seem to be leaning on that a little bit, pointing to Joshua's sickness. He was using his magic and then started to, cough a bit more. And then, you've got him. He just did a partial summon, essentially. Because he didn't just use magic. But he didn't go full Rama either. But he went all, Silver Fox. So, I don't know. We should probably pop a manual save. We haven't done that yet. I probably should just go to bed. And then be back on a little bit, now that I'm going to be off tomorrow. A little bit earlier. What was I going to do there? I was going to check my ability tree, because I've got points, so I should be spending them, I'm sure. The shift distance to that mastery does that. Upgrading increases the hits, and then mastery allows assignment to any icon. So we don't necessarily need to master it right off, because we don't have more icons yet. But let's see. Extends trigger window for precision dodge. I mean, it wouldn't hurt probably, but it's going to be a fair bit more points. See, increases maximum kicks to 2. It can be used at any time regardless of Clive's recovery status. Use with L while stomping to determine after starting to extend jump distance or change direction. Oh, okay, so you could jump in different directions. Okay. Yeah, let's do those two. See if we can't get a little bit of airtime. So, see if I can't, you know, not fuck up every fight. I suppose, a win is a win.
Clive, what exactly do you plan on doing when you find this dominant in the fight?
What do you think? I'll show him the mercy he showed my brother, and cut out the tongue of any man who tries to talk me out of it.
All right. Forest dark enough as it is.
Oh, the banter, the dialogue, I love it. This is some good shit. And we've got some hornets. Lovely. Looks like I grabbed that just in time. Alright. Which way are we going here? Torgo, which way is the right way? Cool.
See that river? Follow her upstream and we'll be in Rock Spring in no time.
In no time.
There we go.
Right.
And another level. Boom. Cool. Used. Alright, so what's this? Like a back way? Alright, so yeah. Big old foresty forest.
Stay down. It's over.
Definitely. All right. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna get lost. Okay. Oh, I'm still gonna get lost. Which way is that way? Well, I guess as long as we're still going the opposite direction of the right way. Potions and bloody hides and all that stuff. I saw. Alright, there's some shit we've killed. Treasure chest. I was trying to dodge. I saw it coming. There we go. Go on.
Too slow.
There we go. Ability finish. Nice. That's cool. Use the potions. Meteorite. Perfect. Shit, I've only been able to like whittle away at one piece at a time. Oh, what's over here? Are we like to? Okay, he's saying we go that way, yes? So yeah. Cool. Let's not. For just a moment. I do want to make sure I get to explore. I want to find all the goodies. We'll go a little bit further. Okay.
That's enough.
At least they're pretty easy to. No. Yeah. I don't mind being able to get some extra materials because it feels like that's going to be a pretty big part of things here. So I think we're probably pretty good. I don't think if I've missed anything it would be too much. This is kind of some cool music.
Quiet.
All right.
A Royal Scout.
Someone's far from home.
Let's follow him.
Yeah, straight up, he really doesn't know what was fucking him. This is getting hard though. Like Jonathan's like, hurry up and just played through because like he didn't get 16, and he's like, oh, I've got Tears of the Kingdom and Diablo 4. He's still working on multiple playthroughs of, and now playing with one of our old work friends.
And?
But then he was like, oh, you should, hurry up, power through so I can play.
Just down that way. All of them.
I'm like, you need to play it so I can talk to you about it. Because I'm going to end up accidentally saying too much and pissing him off.
We move.
I don't understand. Have I not proven loyal?
It is true my liege values loyalty above all else. But were you not quick to betray your countrymen for the promise of coin?
POV deaths.
That woman.
Benedicta Harmon, commander of Waloed's elite intelligences. If we can capture her...
You! Weapons on the ground, Imperials!
Nah, it's okay.
Let's get this over with then.
I like how everybody's just sort of game for that.
At least they're not giant lizards.
What a lady on the wind!
There we go. Come on. Okay, when screen flashes orange, repeatedly tap square. Cinematic indeed. Ah, damn.
My wounds, boy.
Not this time.
All right. They're making me work for it. There we go. Midnight Raven. Badge of Might increases attack by 7. It's got some steel silk and meteorite. All right.
They thought we were Imperials.
Well, you do look the part.
Should probably get some new clothes.
Though you fight like a true shield of Rosaria. And one blessed by the Phoenix at that. Speaking of which, I wonder, does the other icon of fire give blessings, do you think?
You don't believe me?
And lo, the Creator did make of the elements 8 icons to serve as keepers of the one law. Not that I've ever set too much store by holy doctrine, but on that point, it's clear. Fire has always had just the one warden, as of all the rest. A new one can't be born until the previous dies. And even that can take years. The thing is, you don't strike me as a liar. Which leaves but one person who might be able to shed some light on the matter. There in Lost Wing. As are our Waluda friends, I would imagine. We should hurry before it gets dark.
But what if someone discovers the bodies?
Well, then they'll be sorely disappointed.
I want to be like Sid. Stage replay in arcade mode. Now available in the Hideaways. Eric Stone, I think that's how I was saying it. Enter the virtual battlescape for details. Yay! Booyah. That's our story point, but we should probably go to the Hideaway and see if there's any stuff. 'Cause yeah, that's like your story points, but I suppose if you want to replay areas, you've got to go to that Hideaway Stone.
If our quarry's one and the same as Benedicta Harmon's, then we've got a world of trouble waiting for us in Lost Wing.
Definitely has been
the
fun kind of asshole up to this point. So we've got the stage replay makes sense. Arcade mode. Let's see. Replay any previously cleared stage, but at current level. Treasure coffer data is retained. And then replay any previously cleared stage and be awarded a score based on performance. Restrictions on level, gear, consumables are applied. Gameplay mode will default to action focused. Alright. Do you get like shit out of it or just for scoring purposes? I do wonder. What do you got?
And what do you want? Taking an interest, are you?
Wondering why such a comely, cultured lady would cast her lot with this rabble. She got a special arrangement with the rabble rouser. That's why I scratched Sid's back and he scratches mine. Use me old trading connections to bring in whatever him and his little band need, and they pay what I
And to
ask.
sweeten the deal,
Giving me a home far from the prying eyes of those who'd wish me ill, and there's no shortage of them, believe you me. Alright, what you got?
go on then.
You got a longsword. A wolfskin sash. Traveler's bands. And just some potion-y stuff. Let's check with the blacksmith first, see what we've got going on here.
So, what'd it be?
Okay, so we can craft and we can reinforce. So we could like maybe do it one at a time here so I can figure out what's gonna be. Because if, like, say we got a longsword, we use we make a longsword +1. Or we buy a longsword and then reinforce to +1 and then +2. Like, these are the things. And like I said, we've got. I was like, I got the DLC stuff. I was like, I'm not going to use like a whole lot of things, but I figured it doesn't hurt to be making some extra gil and some extra experience points early on so that we can get to a few of the fun things. But that is like a 130. +2, if that's as far as we're going right now. I mean, we're like at 115, so we could probably forego wasting any materials on weapon for now, just play with our DLC shit for a little bit. But this is giving us a, because I figure I'd switch out to the other one, just for, you know, the sake of changing the look a little bit, since they are the same in terms of the attack and the stagger. So we can probably, because so far everything's only gone up to +2 at least anyway. So we can just save on that for now. If we're going wolfskin sash, like say for example though, +1. You need that, some steel silk, bloody hide and sharp fang, and then to get the +2, a meteorite. And if we're going to just make the +1 to start with, 12, 14, and 12. Maybe we should just buy the shit then, and then make the +1 and then the +2. For that, I can craft a plus. Let's see. That's the iron bracers. We were going to be going with the Traveler's bands, I think was the next up. What was that? Sharp fangs. And so that we can buy it and then reinforce it. Yeah, it seems like that's probably going to be the way to go. Yeah, so...
Fine.
Fancy a mug of Kenneth?
Look what the curl dragged in. Coin purse weighing you down?
Yeah, I got the iron belt +2. So we'll go with a wolf skin.
It'd better all be here.
And the
You'll not find a better price than that.
Traveler's bands.
Finished, are you?
I see I'm busy here.
Yeah.
What's that for you, dear?
Let's reinforce some shit.
My best work, but it'll do. Yeah, that should do ya. My best work, but it'll do.
There we go. Keep us topped up on defense and shit like that.
And?
Might as well. Anything else going on here? Doesn't really look like it. I guess let's go check in with our keeper of the things that are tomes.
Do you think we should go and help?
It sounds like...
Still reading about Dung?
And how might this old soul be of service? I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them. What subject shall we consider today?
We're not quite level 2.
You are always welcome.
I wanted to see how much we added in there. Alright.
Sid can take some getting used to. But his heart's in the right place.
Eat your food while it's hot and see that...
Okay, cool. Well, I'd say we're probably ready to move on then to the next location. It's apparently Orabel Downs, the idyllic plains that stretch across the southern reaches of the Holy Empire, sparsely populated unless one knows where to look. Interesting. But yeah, no, I'm going to go to bed. So I definitely appreciate you being here. Glad to see you. It was nice to have you in, Rhea. And Doc as well. And anybody else that dropped in. Always happy to have you here. Yeah, we got the badge of metal on. Badge of might. Increased defense. Probably. And I'll leave these on for now, like I say. Get some extra gil and extra experience for the time being, but they will come off. But yeah, this is good. I'm liking it. I can see where some people might be coming from. You know, that... Because there's just always those preferences. Some people prefer things that are more cinematic. Some people prefer to keep things less, you know, like the fewer cutscenes, the better. Some people just straight up fucking don't like having story in their games. So those people obviously would not like anything that's dramatic, cinematic, lore-filled. And then there's, you know, some folks that can kind of take a few different, you know, take it a few different ways, essentially. I feel like I'm one of those people that usually can enjoy a game without it being a very specific type or feeding me in a very specific way. In terms of, like, the gameplay and lore, I feel like I do tend to lean toward RPGs, as it were. But these days you can't even use those terminologies anymore. So that's games like this, like Final Fantasy, you know, but even then, not everything was like necessarily based exactly like that. You know, you had like the Chrono Crosses, Chrono Trigger, and Secret of Mana, and you know the things that classically got referred to as JRPG lovingly in my circle, and for the loving part of it in the West, I realized that that's been listed as a problematic kind of terminology for the negative connotations that it got back in the day that I didn't know about until recently. So, but as it were, for lack of a better term right now to express that, yeah, that was mostly what I touched on. And but you know, I guess I still played things like Mega Man and Mario, and where I didn't usually play them all the way through and be able to beat them. I mean, I would play them over and over and over again. So yeah, I feel like, definitely these days, you know, I've tried more things than I have before. But to throw my hat in the ring here, I saw what's been going around about this, and I saw part of it being that there's been a tweet here or a Kotaku article there or whatever, not to give them attention, because I used to like them. Like, I used to get, like, read a whole bunch of articles on the daily from there, but they kind of went to the shitter, in my opinion. And just then thrive, like most people realize, off of clickbait. But, you know, but basically kind of, and in some of those tweet threads, people, you know, chiming in something similar, that it's not an RPG. And I'm like, nothing is anymore. Nothing is an action game. Nothing's an RPG. Nothing's, you know, basically the only thing you can do is maybe like FPS, because of like literally that's a point of view. It's a POV based game. Like, and you got a gun. Like, that's basically all that it takes to fill that quota. But it's become so obscure as to what RPG could mean, what any of those really like genres could mean. So, like, to sit there and hold it over a game to say it's bad because it's not an RPG, and then they'll sit there and try to come back around, you know, and all these people say, oh, well, I wasn't saying it bad, I'm just saying for me. And I'm like, nah, you really didn't. Most of you are starting off like like harping about it as a negative thing. You're not saying, for me, I prefer my RPGs to be like Pillars of Eternity. I prefer my RPGs to have this. No, you're trying to come at it from the perspective, and then when you're getting corrected, to say that you're really like being narrow-minded and narrowing your scope to the point that it's basically incorrect. Then you try to like save face on it. But so my thing being just that genres don't really work. Not to the greatest degree. You can use them to get a generalization of certain elements that may be present in the game, and that's it. So just, you know, realize that. Don't, you know, and again, if it's the thing where you're like, I don't know, I'm going to be so finicky with what constitutes a good game for me, then go ahead and wait for the game to come out so that you can see what elements are at play. If you want to make sure that you don't have cutscenes in your game, then wait for the game to come out and see how many cutscenes are in the game. And then you can decide if it's for you, you know, because the genre label is going to be too vague for you. It's not going to work. Yeah, true. It's definitely going to be a different experience sometimes playing the game versus, you know, watching it in some cases. So, you know, and I can see where that becomes problematic for some games and some developers of their games. I like being able to just share my experience with my friends and, you know, have a great laugh over what is, you know, happening for me personally. How terrible I am at things sometimes, most times. And then just get to bullshit back and forth like, you know, you would do back in the day, just couch co-oping or playing a game and trading the controller back and forth, you know. And shit like that. It is, yeah, no, visually, I really do love what's going on. The audio, you know, we got the music, they've got the little things, the environmental noises and cues. It's, you know, really blending those things well. And then just, you know, even if it is just that I'm a sucker for Final Fantasy games and getting to enjoy them for what they are, that's, you know, something that I think is okay too. Like, you know, the whole point is to have fun. I don't know how fun it's going to be because this thing seems dead set on just killing everything in a very brutal way. So I'm not entirely sure how happy we're going to be with it by the end of it, but we are going to take that journey together, goddammit. And yeah, it definitely, it does ruin the experience of just being able to sit back and enjoy whatever the fuck it is you're doing, in terms of even watching when your shit's not getting itself together, whether it's the phone or Twitch or YouTube crapping itself. It's never fun. I still don't know what's going on with my damn YouTube studio shit. It's decided to reload itself, apparently. I don't know, at some point. And yeah, I can't really seem to figure out what the hell is wrong with it. So, but yeah, I'm not saying it's bad to, you know, dislike or anything like that. I'm saying just for where some of the opinions are coming from, they're approaching it from what I feel is a like wrong angle in terms of like not realizing that genre terms don't necessarily incorporate what you think they do. Apparently, like, I get where they're coming from. They're very specifically narrowing it down to it's a role-playing game. So in their mind, that means I'm role-playing in the way I want to with the game and can customize that like Dungeons and Dragons. That's not necessarily the case. That can be that you're playing a specific role. So that of maybe the protagonist. And then there's certain elements that play into RPGs, like in terms of the gameplay and leveling systems and skill systems and stuff like that. And so, and not just that genre, but every genre has taken those aspects and turned them on their heads in ways throughout the years that have blended these concepts so closely together between genres that every game just starts to become, well, it's an FPS RPG action open world adventure exploring, you know, meld of just everything. And you know, or taking so many little bits of that, you know, oh, well, this part's open world and then it gets linear, this is linear and then it gets open world. And I think that's fantastic. It means that, you know, they're not building on one specific formula when they're going about these games in terms of like, well, we have to make it bullet point by bullet point, just like the last ones. And then there's, yeah, some people that they keep bringing up. I wish they would just, and then list something that they liked about one of the games or a couple of the games in the past. So, and it keeps, for some reason, it keeps coming back around to turn-based. Like, and none, they're not always specific as to whether it's active, like time battle kind of stuff, like ATB, like 9 and 7 and stuff, or if it was more turn-based, like 10 was. So they're not always specific, but you know, it's definitely the way games have gone. You know, the turn-based was, I feel like, a product of its time too, in terms of what am I trying to say? Sort of probably limitations, I guess, if you will. And I get where people like that, and I think things like 7 Remake and 13 did pretty well on blending action and ATV and slash turn-based. But again, it doesn't make it bad and it doesn't make it wrong. It just means that you don't like games that aren't turn-based. But they've, we've got games that are coming out that are working that way. That, they're not Final Fantasy, but and who's to say that they won't do something to try to figure out how to make that work? I mean, obviously, we've seen the way they blended the aspect of the Like a Dragon games with those RPG-like elements and turn-based battles. So, you never know. That might come about. But Final Fantasy has been going for 16 main entries and like a fuck ton of spin-offs, tons of different, combinations of the battle system. So it'll come around, like, so just breathe, chill, enjoy, or don't. Go back and play some old ones. I get it. I was just like having my little piece out there. I'm not saying that it was, that everybody's always gonna like everything. I mean, shit. I just got done having a conversation with a coworker yesterday out in the parking lot. I was like, because I was gonna be coming home playing 16, and got on the topic of 13 or whatever it was, and they said that they were talking about how it was. I was like, it wasn't all that bad. I did enjoy it for what it was. I didn't get to play all the way through it back in the day, and finish. But once I got the battle system down and the fluxing between like my loadouts, that was something that felt really satisfying. I was like, oh no, I nailed it. Like it, and I'd fail these fights and I'd be like, oh my god, I'm under leveled, and then I just get my paradigms right and get my kind of system down, and then it felt really satisfying. So I don't think it was all that bad, and for what it was on the story, again, I was like, hey, there was some really good elements there. My thing was that they, like, as much fun as I had with 10 or 13-2, I was like, okay, there's some, I really did get into it. I'm usually not about the timey-wimey shenanigan kind of games, like Majora's Mask and shit. But I enjoy it for what it was. What I didn't enjoy was the rewriting of the story, and then Lightning Returns just sucked for me. But what I was saying was, here's the thing. People shit all over 13. Continued to shit all over 13-2. They're going to say they didn't and that it wasn't a majority, but shit, I couldn't remember finding a nice thing said about 13. It was hard. And it was coming down to it. Then everybody bitched. And all you hear about is versus 13. And it's like, well, you guys didn't like it. You guys didn't want it because it was 13. And they would say, no, we did. And it's like, well, but just shit all over it. Like, nobody was picking up on it. Like, what are they going to do? Make a product and continue forward with a product that was not getting attention, that was not being well received, that was not selling? So you can't really go back and fix it. So you got what you got. And, granted, I'm not on the inside. I don't know what parts of the development hell came from where, because we know that, there was this long extended period of drawing out this versus 13 stuff and whatever it was going through in terms of what was on the inside and what was from consumers not picking up on the products. But it didn't happen. And then, of course, it was having to be reiterated to people that when that went to 15 wasn't in development for 10 years. 15 was in development for maybe a year, if that. They had to like rush job this, and I do not envy the producers and directors and stuff and developers for having to put together what they did on such a short time and for what they had. I can appreciate it, and it really 15 is what drug me back out of like the depths of like kind of the dry spell of gaming that I was in, and got me back into exploring new things. So I will always appreciate having it. And still, you know, obsessing over fanfic and shit. So, but yeah, that's just my gaming rant. I haven't got to sit here and just rant about shit, I guess. And whatever the fuck AM it is not probably the time to do it. I'm doing good on time considering, like, how late I got started. I appreciate you listening to me bullshit. But yeah, and games are the way they are. Like, it's gonna be one of those things where people come in, and we have the internet more than we did back in the day. So everybody's gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, I've got to have my opinion out there, and I've got to shout it to the world, and I gotta be right." And no, you don't. And it turns into an echo chamber where, you know, people that wouldn't have had an opinion otherwise end up having one. If that makes any sense. Yeah, they had, well, and that's the thing is, you got to admit, they had put all of this money, all of these resources, all of this time into a product. They had to do something with it. Like, otherwise it was going to get, it's not like this was something that was kind of just on the side. It was a main sort of entry in a series that was getting a lot of attention and a lot of traction for a long time. And then all of a sudden they didn't have it anymore. I remember the announcement that they switched it to 15. I still remember, I can still see that Versus 13 title switching over to 15 in my mind. And like I said, for what it was, and I'm probably, you know, speaking a little out of turn since it's his personal experience, but I mean, I think we've all been there. With that game, like, Jonathan doesn't cry at video games really, rarely. Like, and I appreciate him. I appreciate having somebody in my life that isn't so toxically masculine that they can't be like, "That was sad. I didn't like that." I'm like, because we can look at each other and be like, "You cried first. You cried first." You know, just like, shut up. Like, so, but, you know, even he admitted, he's like, "Man, it's not often like, games don't get me to cry really, but 15 did. 15 knew where to punch you and how to punch you." So, you know, it had the parts that it executed really well. Especially if you played the game. If you just, you know, like, let yourself get there. Because, you know, for as much as I started to get along in the story, and I finished under level 42 or something like that. I was struggling through Insomnia. And, but I still went around. I did quests and took photos and stuff. And, but John even did more than that. You know, he really did like everything before he hit the end. He was like level 80 something, or, you know, and, we both were like, "Well, fuck you, game." Like, especially that big credits and shit. So, mad more than made you cry. Yeah, they sort of had to reset, and even then, it's not. They tried to fix a few things as they went along, and it just sort of didn't work out in the end. I mean, of course, I responded to the thread that was Zamura or whoever it was. I was trying to remember who said it on Twitter about, like, if there was like a redo on 15, would you be interested? Like, yes, take all of my money. I will throw down $1,000 for a collector's edition. I don't care. Like, what? Like, give it. I will invest. Need some money down? Here. Like, I'm cool. Like, I got a soft spot in my heart for 15. So, but again, I see where the problems came from. I see where there was the problems, and after the fact, it was one of those things where, you know, you kind of got aspects of it that you, hindsight's 2020. So, yeah, I really wanted them. Yeah, that'd be really cool if they could build up that world a bit. When you, again, at the time, you're like, this is different. This is so different from what we've experienced at this point, and it really was a world of wonder. It was this, like, there were aspects of it that you're driving, you're exploring. It's so vibrant in some places and so desolate in others, and you know, the hindsight being 2020, you're like, okay, yeah, well, when you really think about it, there, you know, it didn't there, yeah, like you didn't really get insomnia time, you didn't really get and of course it doesn't necessarily mean you have to, but it definitely would add to it, right? And then, you know, same with Niflheim. And then some of those in-between cities, it makes sense to have smaller ones, but having something a little bit more of a populated feel in a way, I suppose. But even then, it still sucked because, like, I still think they did pretty well to give some sort of life to it, because I'll still think back on it and be like, how fucked is it that, like, you know, and I'm still mad, like, at Bahamut. Like, I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to get used to, like, if they ever make Bahamut, like, on the good side again, like, it's going, because he was not. They tried to place it that way, but he definitely was not. But how many people were lost? Like, all for the sake of him covering his own ass. Like, for as desolate as people say it was, it felt vibrant enough that I think back on it and think, after World of Ruin, like, there was, like, nobody left. Like, they're like, ooh, yay, the light's back. But we've got, like, 10 people to repopulate the world with. Like, that's about it. So, it's kind of fucked. I know that Comrade sort of built on a little bit of what was going to be left. But again, it really, I mean, you're talking about a couple handfuls of people that could fit into Lestalem and maybe a couple of outposts. But it, you know, that's about it. Lights back. Umbra just sitting outside going, who's going to feed me? Like, so that's why I wasn't completely, like, put off by the whole, like, you know, fanfickiness of, like, having, you know, like, the verse 2 Ignis stuff. But then, like, again, like, playing through originally, I was, like, this big Ignis fan, right? Like, I was like, oh, Ignis, okay, cool. Like, by the end of it, I was like, yeah, that's my favorite character, you know, and stuff like that. And then that changed. I actually finished episode Ignis, and I have that recorded. I had my reactions. I had some emotions, too. I was like, man, they really tug at the heartstrings. But also, I didn't get what I wanted out of that when I thought about it. I was like, man, episode Ignis didn't go down the way I expected it to. I kind of didn't like the way they played it. And then Gladio became my favorite after that. And I got him a bit more. And then I realized that they did him dirty. And then, of course, everything after that was kind of focused around, you know, everything else. And even the verse 2, at the end of that, I realized it was Ignis's episode, but then, like, that's all you're seeing. And, you know, it's... Did them shields dirty. That was for sure. Yeah, I know they claimed that yeah, some people did survive, and that was very clear that there was some survivors. Because, I mean, we saw the Hammerhead outpost. We know that we went into battle and, like, took all of that out. So then with the demons gone, the light coming back, you know, anybody at those outposts, you know, Lestalem and Hammerhead were going to be all right. But again, it was just those very few. I mean, I think we pretty much got confirmed. We lost Koktura, Dino. Producers claimed and confirmed the bros survived. But then at the same time, I was like, do I really want them to? They seem like the type to, like, not really do well after that. 3 of 4 DLC. I thought Arden was a very well played by the voice actor. Arden was an interesting design of character. I love his obsession with his fedora. He's got a lot of personality. And I actually think he's an interesting villain. because at the end of the day, Arden wasn't the villain. Like, he was made into the villain. And it was like Noctis in the Crystal Realm or whatever it was, the in-between where he was taking on Arden when he has everybody by his side. Yeah, that was my thing, is like he's just like taking the power, you know, through the power of love and friendship. He's irritating in that way that, you know, he's just always like, but makes it more satisfying when you're throwing him off. But then at the end, he really sort of did. He just wanted it to end, but then like you just always wanted to shake him and be like, it wasn't their fault. You're trying to end the Lucis scale of 1. I get it, but then at the same time, like it like help them fuck up Bahamut instead. Like, I'm not entirely sure like what they could have done, but nobody was looking. Even Regis, I get a little mad at Regis. I'm like, you didn't even look, son. You didn't even look. You just took Bahamut's word for it and ran with it, and then kind of fucked up a lot of shit and fucked over a lot of people. Like, you know, it circles back to Core. Like, how fucked up is he in the head? Like, from all of that. So, like, so much depressing things if I let myself linger on it. Which I think means they did a good job. If I am lingering on it enough to always kind of go back to it and be like, how messed up was it for this person or that person? God, that's frustrating that this person and that person did this or that or wouldn't do this or that. I'm trying to think about what you mean in regards to that, into which part, because I mean, yeah, like, because then, like, you know, like Core's stoicism isn't always there. Like, he has those like giggle moments with Gladio. He kind of smirks, and his proud moments, his proud uncle moments, you know. So he's showing this like caring, but then, like, you know, then I'll have these flashbacks every now and then to like the dock scene before you go off into chapter 9, and where he's sort of having his breakdown moment with Noctis about his failure. And then of course, you know, you get the Royal Edition, and there's part of me that I was like, man, I think they were trying to be like, we killed Core too, like, and I was like, at the same time I was like, again, sad, but also it wouldn't probably be worse if he lives. Like, but, you know, so that's why I live in my fanfic. I find my fluffy fanfics to be like, this is what it's going to be like forever. Everybody forever 45 and young and happy. Oh, I guess I get what you mean, like, when he was done with his sleep. But then again, like, if we're talking about, like, where he got impaled by his dad, like, right when at the end of things. So like, are you talking like, almost kind of like fan theory or something, like in terms of like everybody's dead? Like, he killed everybody? Gotcha. I never really went that way with it. I just like really went with that. Yeah, there's not a lot of people left. There's probably not a lot of happiness and goodwill going around, but that the world is, you know, healed essentially and better, but like at what cost? I mean, really, how do you move on from that shit? the two major empires are like completely dead, pretty much. Forms of like sort of government completely nullified. Accordo's, I don't know. I haven't finished the novel, but I don't know what happens to Accordo. Essentially, like, is it intact or not? Like, Tenebrae, same thing. I think those were the only other two major nations, really. And even then, Tenebrae, I don't know how big it was supposed to be. It was rather small looking in the game. Gotcha. Nah, I figured everybody, you know, that was still there. He goes, does his thing, goes to the in-between with Arden, and then what he sees there is like his power of love and friendship. He's like, I'm thinking of all the people that are supporting me. Luna might have actually been there because, you know, she's sort of dead Oracle, so possibly. But then again, it was also sort of that vision of her grabbing that same arm she did in, like, chapter 9. So I don't know if that was just a lingering effect kind of thing or what. That one I've never figured out for sure. But everything else I think was just him. But then like Arden's reacting to it as well. So like, because when all of the things start happening, he's kind of starts shaking his head around like a kind of a beast. So I think it's just, but in a way, I always kind of took it as a little bit of developer creativity too, in sense of like storytelling, just sense, like symbolic kind of stuff for us as well, and to just pull at our heartstrings a little bit. But yeah, I think they did all right with what they had, and I don't hate 50. I like 15. I like what it did. I did go back and I played, you know, a couple hundred hours worth of that game or so, maybe even more. I think maybe like 400, and I did, you know, all those expansions and stuff. I love it. I love that the mod community came together for like the PC to put together the permanent festivals. That was really cool. So yeah, true. I've seen some very intricately detailed fanfics though on how they survive, like in a way, but it probably wouldn't be beyond possible, especially since they were able to generate some light. That means that they're able to get some power and have some resources. If they can do it in the zombie apocalypse movies, you know. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of dead things. So but you played 360 hours of it. That's what I'm saying. So there's stuff there that works, but they were kind of given the short end of the stick, so it messed with their lore a bit, and I think in their attempts to course correct after the fact, there was not enough care and given to it that, like, I played all the DLCs. I loved them for what they were. It was nice to have the different styles of gameplay for the bros. But again, I feel like they could tweak some of the storytelling. They could tweak, you know, just a couple of things that feel a bit off and feel a bit like short-sighted, and like that people got kind of gypped in their character development and their backstories for the shields, Gladio and Claris, for Core, you know, even you know, some of the Regis and Noctis stuff. Now, granted, I probably don't feel that as much as some people, because I played Platinum Demo, which gives you a little bit on them, you know, and I took in all of the extended media. So I really did not like the way they did Like, Kingsglaive was interesting. I don't like the disconnect between Kingsglaive and everything else, though. There was no Crown's Guard, really, in Kingsglaive. And then, which, I get it, it's about the glaive, but you're not seeing any melding of the system, which is what bothers me. And then, they did Core and Claris constantly dirty. Claris gets barely screen time in Kingsglaive and then offed easily. And then you get Core, who was supposed to be a central character in Versus, and I grew to really love the character and the potential for him, you know, but then just even for what they gave us was kind of nice. I mean, you had to read the backstory, but what really kind of, again, is one of those things they could course correct on if they ever wanted to in the future. It is, you know, the fact that they built this up to be this whole big chain, this whole family of shields, that this is what they're born and bred to do, and you never see Claris with Regis in any of this media outside of his brief time in Kingsglaive. It's Draudos that's seeing him off at the beginning of Final Fantasy 15. It is a couple of glaives or something like that when you're playing episode Arden, that are escorting him out of the Citadel for him to face Arden or whatever was going on, that was in the elevator. And I was like, again, that was a moment to have young Core and Claris, and they fucking gave us 2 no-name glaives. And I was like, you fucking assholes. Are you kidding me? And I know that they probably did it because Core and Claris were not going to let Regis go fucking face that motherfucker alone. But, like, we could have had some sort of epic something or other. Like, we could have had, you know, a moment, whatever it was. You could have figured something out. Don't, like, deny us. and then build this whole lore up about, you know, Core and the shields, and then just say fuck off with it whenever it actually comes to them needing to be there. They're never there. As if they're just being like, Citadel's under the attack, you want to go get lunch? Like, where the fuck were they? So, you don't even get like a radio situation or something like that. So it's crazy. So yeah, there's those little things like that just kind of really end up irking me about it. But otherwise, you know, it was interesting to play as Arden. And it was interesting to see. It did suck that, like, there's really no changing your fate. I get it. It's going to go where it's going to go because of, you know, we sort of had the verse 2 kind of thing with Ignis, but like in this case for the Arden thing, it was going to go where it was going to go. This was the case before then of where Bahamut, no matter what Arden tried to do, was able to manipulate him into what he needed to do. So, and that's why, like, Arden's a tragic villain. Like, he was a good guy and got fucking twisted by Bahamut's bullshit. So, like, again, I just felt like at least he had something there to work with. You know? Makes it interesting for the fanfics when they can do good guy Arden. But yeah, I think it comes down to some of the development kind of stuff, because I feel like this is a common thing that gets sort of touched on lately. Final Fantasies, you know, I suppose we've had some other games out there as well. With this AAA game thing, it's supposed to be AAA. It's supposed to be these big budget, big production things that have all of this time and money spent, but then it turns out it's just a bunch of money thrown at it willy-nilly with publishers sticking their nose in where it don't belong, and investors sticking their nose in where it don't belong, and then fans, give me now, and then when you give them now, it's buggy. Why is it buggy? Because you wanted it now. When they delay, you bitch. Like, so this is why I'm like, you shouldn't say anything about the game you got until you were feeling very well within your realm to launch that. And I think that's what's worked well for RGG. They don't tell you shit, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, by the way, we've got this game. Oh yeah, it comes out next month. It's almost done. We've already done the bug testing. Like, it's like this super secret like thing that goes on with them or something. Now, I do feel like we've gotten a lot of back-to-back. I don't know if they've just got a lot of teams working or if they've just really been that hard at work on secret missions. But it feels like we've gotten a lot to eat in terms of Yakuza in the last few years. And so I just hope they're not going that direction, the opposite direction, these bad directions of pushing these things out too often or too quickly. Or announcing too soon, and because they really haven't been doing that either. They're still within a year before something hits. So yeah, like they're just, you're like, wait, what? Like, and you get it in 6 months, and then they kept closing that window on the launches. Just seeing that change for like in terms of their launch windows from Japanese to the rest of the world, then like coming down to being able to do that simultaneously. And I was like, damn, Tales and Trails really need to get on this shit, because they're still years apart. So they need to get their shit together. I don't know. And because that's the thing, is I feel like Tales and Trails were both like series that just didn't have, like, it seemed like, to me at least, they had a bit more of a foothold. Maybe not Tales, but because it really wasn't until after 6 that Yakuza got really big in the West. So what's your excuse? Like, that's what I'm saying. They just, I think they just don't, it's one of those things where I think it's nothing more than it's not a priority to them. They don't really care whether or not they can sell anything outside of Japan. And so they kind of do it as an afterthought. That's what it feels like to me anyway. Yeah. Yeah, right? You're like, wait, what? There's 2? Shit. And then, yeah, and that's what confused me with the naked butts. I was like, wait, is this like because I was like, I still try not to look into things too much with that, because I'm like, I'm gonna catch up. I swear to God, I'm gonna catch up. But I was like, wait, is this like an expansion? Because then they didn't have it like titled with like number wise like a Dragon was, but there was that clarification. So it took me a little bit of like kind of letting some of the conversation start to where I could glean that it was 8 without being 8. But they don't want to confuse, apparently, anybody in the West, so it's not 8. Because what if they don't, like... And I'm like, oh my God, you're making it worse. What? We've lined up launch dates, but can we line up titles? Because, shit, I realize that we changed from Yakuza to Like a Dragon, but that's a Google search away, and if somebody can't do that, God forbid, like, just don't. Just let it go. Because they're like, well, there might be that disconnect. Be like, yeah, but the whole reason you changed it was because you say Kiryu's story is over and now we're on Ichiban's. And so what does it matter if you change it without telling anybody, essentially? Like, you don't got to make it Yakuza Like a Dragon. Just make it like you did. Like, I get it, I guess, because it's Like a Dragon 7 over here, and they'd be like, what? Well, then just stick it down at the corner, like Yakuza Like a Dragon 7. So then now they're still like having to fuck with their titles and be like, okay. It's like a Dragon 7 here. But there, because they call it something different, Yakuza Like a Dragon. Alright, cool. They're like, okay, so what are we going to do about 8? Alright. Subtitle. So, like a subtitle. So it will be Like a Dragon, Naked Ichiban. Okay, that sounds good. Like, alright, whatever. So, yeah, and I guess that 8 thing, the Affinity thing, yeah, what is it, like Infinity? I honestly don't remember, so I'm just calling it Naked Ichiban. I was like, what is it called again? There's so many titles lately, because, yeah, like I said, we've been eating good. Like, we got the Gaiden thing, and the Ishii, the Naked, Ichiban. And it's Gaiden, right? I was pretty sure it was Gaiden. Man who erased his name. Yes. Like a Naked Ichiban. That's it. That's just what I'm going to call it. Let me see here. Yeah. Gaiden. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. Kiryu, before he went all salt and pepper. So, what's on my, I don't got really any fun notifications. Something with, Brave X Vias crossover with Addison Rae. I don't play Brave X Vias. I think I tried it for like a little bit, but their crossovers are ridiculous. Like the crossover with the... I'm sorry, I don't know you, and you might be a nice person, but the dumbest shit. like, why? That doesn't make sense. But yeah, we got to have a lot of Final Fantasy rants there. So hopefully, like, whatever it is, it's kind of... I wonder if I can find that tweet. Okay, let's not, like... Jesus, what is trying to play? Oh. It's like, what video is playing in Twitter? I can't spell Rhea. Just trying to remember. This is gonna, like, at least this is not facing the camera. On Steam November 8th. Maybe be able to buy a game or two by then. Oh, nice. Yeah, there's somehow this has turned into a risky search. Oh god. I've seen at least one penis already. Oh, Twitter, how I love you. I'll have to find it. When I find it, I'll share it on Discord. I just gotta remember where the fuck I saw it. But yeah. Outside of that, my PS5 gonna enter rest mode in 10 minutes. Alright. I've kept you up long enough. It's been fun to bullshit. I should go to bed. It's getting hot in here too. I didn't bring the fan in, so it's stuffy with the door closed. But yeah. Thank you for coming, and thank you for hanging out and bullshitting with me. And I'll be back tomorrow. Be today, whatever. Play some more of this and see what other butt shots of Sid we can get. Maybe he silver foxes on us a little bit more. Go sleepy, sleepy, night, night. Yep. All right. See you later, Rhea.